Today we will be continuing my 100-day adventure, and on day 20 we will be gaining a new element to bend. So if you want to see which element I got, watch till the end to find out. I almost immediately left my base and went out exploring to find anything that might be useful, like bending scrolls, which you can get by dungeon chests, or fighting monsters like zombies. After spending the rest of day 10 exploring, I found another ruined castle, which I got some food, arrows, 2 diamonds, and a diamond chestplate. And right next to the castle's ruins was another castle. Since I used to play with the mod that makes these castles, I knew there was a hidden bunker filled with diamond blocks, so I tunneled down to sneak past the knights because they hit like trucks. But before I could collect the diamond blocks, I needed to upgrade my stone pickaxe into an iron pickaxe, which I don't know why I didn't do earlier. And then after escaping with my spoils, I did some more hunting, as I would need a lot of meat for my dragon since I started the hatching process back in the previous 10 days. After getting a lot of meat, I decided to leave until I came across a horde of monsters, which I decided to take out for some bending scrolls and to level up my air blade ability. After getting a lot of scrolls and leveling up the air blade ability, I came across a fire dragon nest. After collecting some items from the nest, I teleported home and emptied out my inventory. After clearing out my inventory, I went out to fight some more monsters for some bending scrolls. After a little bit of fighting, I accidentally knocked a creeper into my base, so I had to stop fighting to fix it. After fixing my base, I checked on the dragon egg, and it turned out the egg had hatched, so I tamed the baby dragon and used the dragon horn to bring the little dragon out of the hole. After I got the little dragon out, I fed the dragon, who turned out to be a girl, all of the dragon meal. Oh, and I'll pick the name from the comments, so comment down below what name you would like for the dragon to have. The next day, I leveled up my air blade ability and fought some monsters that were outside of my base, and then I went out exploring. After a bit, I encountered a dragon and fought in the most boring way possible, spamming my air blade ability until I defeated the dragon.
Bruh.
After defeating the dragon, I harvested its remains and got some scales that I could turn into armor, and since the dragon was no more, I could raid its nest for its treasures. After raiding the dragon's nest, I continued to explore until I encountered another dragon, and I tried to do the same strategy, but it didn't go as planned and I was forced to flee, and even worse, a sea serpent finished off the dragon and it was waiting for me. Thankfully, I was able to hit the overgrown sea snake while it was in the air. Could you imagine if you went to the beach and this thing shows up? The stuff of nightmares. I quickly harvested the remains of the dragon and teleported home to craft some dragon scale armor, since my airbender set was on death's doorstep.
Nice.
Since I used my air jump ability a lot during the exploration, I gained enough XP to max out the ability. However, there were two options that were given to me, a ground slam ability or a double jump ability. Since I mainly used the air jump to travel, I decided to go with the double jump upgrade. On day 13 I went out and I found almost nothing until day 15. I know that's a large time gap, but seriously almost nothing happened until I found a shipwreck and I got cornered since a siren, an evil mermaid, used their hypnosis ability, so I teleported home and crafted some more dragon meal and fed the meal to my dragon. Since my dragon was quite young and quite vulnerable, I wanted to make some armor for my dragon until I saw how expensive the armor was. After looking at the dragon armor, I decided to do some decoration with the dragon skulls. After doing some decoration, I finally went to sleep and started day 16 after looking at some items in my chests. After sleeping, I went out exploring again, but for some weird reason when I use the glider the markers turn sideways, which is weird, but it's not really a problem. Huh? I almost instantly found another floating village like the one from the first 10 days, and I quote-unquote borrowed some of the blocks from the village. After borrowing some of those blocks, I left and found some sheep and did a little bit of hunting, then I left. I soon found a forest dragon nest, but it was right next to the swamp from the first 10 days, but at least I found the nest. After collecting the egg and the bending scrolls along with anything else of use, I left and found a horde which I decided to fight, and once night turned to day I left and got ambushed by a dragon and it forced me to teleport home. Once I got home, I made some more dragon meal and fed it to my dragon. After feeding my dragon some dragon meal, I started grinding the mobs next to my base, and after ending the career of many monsters, I checked out if you can upgrade the bending scrolls, and what do you know, you can. I decided to add some more bookshelves to the enchantment station, which I haven't used yet, which is a shame. The next day I went out exploring again and I found another castle with the diamond blocks, so you already know I tunneled down and got their riches. Once I collected all of the diamond blocks, I was about to take off, but a knight jumped on my head and jump scared me, but I left and I found another castle a little bit later and I did the same thing in and out. A little bit later I found some cool black wood and I decided to take a bunch of the wood since it looked cool. After chopping a lot of wood, I went home and I decided to make an incubator for the moon dragon egg. But before I could make the incubator, I would need quartz, which are found in the nether for daylight sensors, since you can change a dragon's element based on their incubator. Like how if you hatch an egg in the forest, it will hatch as a forest dragon. I had one problem: I didn't have enough obsidian to make the portal, but I knew how to get it. There was a nearby structure that had a boatload of lava, and you can make obsidian with just water and lava, so I got some lava, put it at the nearby lake, and that made obsidian, and I had to repeat this 5 times since I already had 5 pieces of obsidian at my base. After getting all of the obsidian I needed, I started carving out a space for the portal, and I finally made the portal itself and entered into the Nether, but since I'm in version 1.12.2 the Nether looks like a mess. Once I got to the Nether, I quickly got all of the Nether quartz I needed. I would also need glass for the daylight sensor, and glass is just cooked sand, so I had to collect some sand. And after all of that, I finally got everything I needed to craft the daylight sensors, and I began to make the incubator for the moon dragon egg. And after some work I finally put down the moon dragon egg and went to sleep. On day 19 I finally made some torches and I lit up the surrounding area so no more mobs would spawn. Since there were some mobs still around, I started grinding the air gust ability and I got it to level 2 and a little bit later level 3. After that I went to sleep, making it day 20. On day 20 I became a waterbender since Thundercraft414 commented it last video, and if you want to pick my next element you can comment down below what element want to see me gain on day 40. After looking through the elemental abilities I decided to get the Water Arc ability since it's a simple ability and would be easy to understand how to use. After getting the new water ability I filled up all of my water skins. Water skins are used to transport water, so you can use waterbending when there's no source of water. I soon crafted a lectern and a bestiary. A bestiary is a book which you can add certain information from the Ice and Fire Dragon mod, and lecterns are used to add the info into the bestiaries. And after putting the bestiary in the item frame in the enchantment station, I went to sleep for the night. Well everyone, that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed and I'll see you next time.